So Emma, what are we talking about today?
The pressures of being the fun parent or the serious responsible one.
Welcome back to the Crippen household. Here we like to unwind on sleepless nights to a wholesome mix of parenting stories, quirky humour and some cosy conversation. All about babies, toddlers and parenting with under fives.
Yeah.
Come and sit on our imaginary picnic blanket out in the fairy garden.
Oh, that's nice.
It's springtime. It's a sunny day as we're recording.
It is a sunny
It'll
day.
be Easter when this comes out.
Happy Easter.
So let's enjoy some light-hearted chit-chat. Egg hunts? Yeah, I'm afraid there's no chocolate that comes with the podcast. You're just, go and grab a chocolate egg.
Yeah.
Even if you're listening to this, I don't know, middle of winter.
Christmas.
Yeah. As always, I'm Elliot, and sat with me is my wife, Emma.
Hello. I was just doing a big yawn, so I tried to get it in time.
What can we do for a little fact today?
Ooh.
What, if you won £1 million, what would you do if you won the lottery?
If I won the lottery?
Yeah, there you go. Random question for you.
I would buy Elliot a swanky car.
Oh.
Because I always keep having problems. I would buy us a nice house. I won't say like a really fancy house because I think that's a waste of money if we won £1 million. You can do so much good. And then I try and give it to people like around us who I think need a little bit of help.
I thought this would be your answer. Give it away. There's shows an insight into Emma's kind character.
Like a 700.
I would buy a boat.
Oh, that's fun.
It's been my dream since I was a kid. Did you used to have do this sort of question when you were little? I feel like it was a common sort of playground sort of thing. Like, what would you do if you won the lottery sort of thing?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a bit sad that back then £1 million felt like
a lot of money. Yeah.
It was like you would be a millionaire. Like it would solve all your financial troubles. You would never need to work again.
Yes.
Whereas I feel like today it was like, well, it's a lot of money, but I feel like
most houses around where we live cost like 500. So that's gone.
Like after an initial spend, you'd probably be back to living your normal life.
Well, they say that's the most common thing that happens if you win the lottery.
Oh, really?
Most people go bankrupt and end up living.
Yes. Well, 30 seconds of daydreaming about if we were rich.
Yeah.
Let's get back into the realities of day-to-day life. Ring, ding, 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 ding. It's parenting achievement time.
Parenting achievement time.
You know what this segment is if you're a regular listener. What parenting thing have you unlocked this week? Parenting fail stories. Some little things that happened with Lola recently. I'm always amazed. We have remote for the TV.
Yes.
It broke and we bought another one. So we have like a fake, a one that doesn't
we've taken
work.
like the batteries out so it's safe.
And so we thought, this will be great. We'll give it to Lola because she loves those sort of things. Toys that aren't actually toys, whatever they are.
And buttons, anything she can
click. Anything. So we thought, great. So we can give her the fake one, the broken one. And but somehow she knows. She knows they're identical. Literally,
the only difference, because one of them is older, the broken one, has a slightly more faint red button.
Yeah.
Because even when we try and grab the real remote, often pick the pretend one.
Yeah.
Old one.
Yeah. But somehow she knows. And it's the same with all sorts of things like wallets. She loves my wallet. Can't give her a fake wallet or a fake phone. She knows.
She knows.
Loves to empty my wallet. And
it's her favourite thing is to empty the wallet.
Take all my cards out.
And then you've got to grab the coins and put them on the side so she doesn't eat them.
Yeah.
Then we have coins all over. We don't know where they are.
Yeah. And she loves to hide things and put things places. The other day, I couldn't find my shoe. I had one shoe.
So funny.
I was like to Emma, I was like, where's my other shoe gone?
Needing to leave in 5 minutes. And he's like, where's my other shoe? And I went, what do you mean, where's your other shoe? Well, I've only got one shoe. So then we were frantically looking. I don't think you found it. You had to wear different shoes.
It was like maybe a day later, maybe 2 days later, I found my other shoe.
Where was it?
It was just hidden under like a load of bags and stuff.
I remember we both were looking around like, well, she can't have taken it too far. And we checked we don't have a huge house, so we were checking downstairs and we couldn't find it.
Do you want to tell the little story of what you found in your hood of your coat when you took Lola to nursery? It was a few months ago now.
How was this? I remember I would be at people don't know, once a week me and Lola go to this thing called Baby Band where they
was it on the
play
way to Baby
music.
Band?
It was
Oh,
at Baby Band.
Oh, it
I'd
wasn't
spent-
nursery.
No, so we're at Baby Band. At the end, I put my hood on, like, to go out because it was kind of blustery. Out of my hood fell like a washing up sponge.
Like a
And
scouring.
then I was like, I got the bus here. I walked for ages. All that way, there's been a washing up sponge that Lola at some point put in there. So it's like travelled with me to Knaresborough.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, I wonder how many people could see the washing up sponge in my hood as I was walking along. Like, and I get it's a weird thing to say to somebody, hey, you've got a sponge in your hood. But I was a bit like, because I'm quite short. People can definitely see.
Yes, yeah. So if this is a relatable story, get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a toddler, a little one who does similar things, amusing things. Okay, well, stop hunting for the things that your toddler has hidden around the house that you're desperately searching for, and let's sit in the sunshine on our picnic blanket and have some conversation today. Yeah. We did today's topic. We put it to our little community.
We did
in our WhatsApp group. We did a little poll with our regular listeners saying what would you like us to chat about today. The most popular one was a parenting struggle related topic. Yeah. So rather than something specific to babies, toddlers, preschoolers, or something particular to our kids, so we thought we'd chat about this idea that's a particular struggle. I suppose it's related to stuff that's going on in our lives at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's pretty...
the roles we find ourselves in.
Yeah, but it's also generic, I think, at whatever stage of parenting you're in.
Shall we go for what we think we are?
Oh, yeah. We should probably do that, shouldn't we? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm the like, serious, disciplined one who likes to stick by rules. Yeah. Is always telling the kids off.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think people could tell from the opening I'm the fun one.
It's not to say I'm not a fun person.
No, and I would say at points we do have to play the other role, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, like, definitely to do with, which is probably typical if you're like in a heteronormative relationship like ours.
Yeah.
Typically, Elliot will be the person throwing the child in the air and me going, just be careful. Just, or like, they're about to go to bed. Maybe let's not chuck them in the air and get them excited. So we do have points where we have to put the other hat on.
But it's almost less of how we've defined ourselves and more of what the kids have decided.
Oh, I would say that's true. Yeah. It's not purposeful that I've gone, oh, he's naturally stricter than me. I think we actually, a lot of the time, have the same rules.
Yeah.
Ideally, it's just who the kids kind of pick to be like, well...
Because like we're going through a phase at the moment when they're all they're in a very mummy phase. Like they all want phase. Because they like see you as the fun one. They want you to do everything.
I think they also just see me as the comforter. So if anything's wrong, they think mummy will be the person to solve it.
Yeah.
And like at the minute, Lily gets very. If you Elliot doesn't have to tell her off at the minute for her to come crying to me that Daddy's told her off.
Yeah.
Like he can say like, don't do that right now, or like, you know, almost kind of steering her to do the right thing, but not saying no, not saying that's bad, just being like, I wouldn't do that right now, or maybe don't do it, like, and she will go over and be like, Daddy's told me off.
For context, Lily's almost 5. So like, it's frustrating because I know she's capable of like listening and following rules, and
it's also fallen at the end of a term when she's particularly tired. So she's kind of, her emotions are quite heightened.
Yeah.
So it means a lot of stuff gets a reaction that wouldn't normally get a reaction. And therefore she's also more clingy with mummy because I think she feels she needs that support almost like a crutch.
Yeah. But it sort of reinforces everything really because, I mean, it also means that they're happier with you. So like you do fun things with them. With me, because they don't want to be with me at the moment, this phase they're in, like you'll leave me with them and they'll both be just screaming.
Yeah. It's like at one point I was like, I think I'd like to have a bath by myself. And Elliot's like, you can do that, but you will hear screaming. Like, are you sure you want to put yourself through that? Well, you could sit in your bath, but you're not going to enjoy it.
It's like last night, like Lola's not currently ill, our 16-month-old, but she is often ill, but she's currently like, she could be teething or whatever, but it's just she doesn't sleep well with me at the moment because she wants to sleep with you. Your night with her the night before, absolutely fine.
Yeah.
With me, she's up all night.
And she's not even in the bed. We don't know what point she works out I'm not with her. But so if I put her down, she normally sleeps. I put her on the toilet at one point. She sleeps through till about 3. Then I put her in the bed and then she stays asleep basically till 5 or 6. And with Elliot, that's just not the case. She'll just wake up and moan and
so it just reinforces, because if I have the kids and they're screaming, I've not had as much sleep. It just means I end up being like strict with them because I don't have as much patience. I'm not as into being in a fun mood with them because they're already playing up from the get-go. Or like they've already been like, well, we don't want to be with you. We want Mama to take us to school. We want like to go. Like Lola's running off to you because she wants you to feed her bottle of milk. Yeah, and it's like, oh dear.
I think that I don't know if we discussed favourite parent before, but maybe we should, because it kind of veers into that topic of favouritism.
Yes, we've touched on it before, and we also were discussing before we started recording about like default parent.
Yeah, and I
which
think
plays into this as well.
With Lola, it makes sense because I do have more time with her.
True. It is interesting, isn't it? Because I do think it's maybe a little less usual because you are the default parent, and as the mum and the wife, I feel like that often coincides with that role being being the strict one,
yeah,
and then the dad is often the fun parent.
Yes.
I feel like that's stereotypically, at least certainly in like film and TV, that's how I've seen it presented, and how the narrative of life often tells us it should be or is. So I don't know if it's unusual, the fact that you are still, like, even though we share the parenting, you're still the default parent from the kid's perspective.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, even though I think it's hard because a lot of the things they don't see is like Elliot helping wash up, Elliot helping clean, or Elliot helping cook. And they don't consider that to do with them. Yeah. So they won't see that as like, oh, daddy did this for me. They just think somebody's done the washing up and cleaning. Like, they don't think about that.
And like, whilst it would be easier for you to be with the kids every night, like we do the switching around where we take one night on, like each of us take a night with the kids each. So like we do share stuff out, but like, they see you as the default, but at the same time I'm also not the fun one. Like I feel like, I don't know,
I think you are sometimes. Like, you're the chief swim person.
Yes,
swimming, but I would say, I don't know, it's because I see myself almost their like social, I don't know, secretary. Like, I'm the person who I'm like, well, I think it's also to do with sociability. So I often take them to fun things because I'm more sociable than you. So for instance, I'm like, well, there's a birthday party, and this is part of the mother's load, which isn't fair, but it's just how life is. Any birthday party, I'm the person who replies. Any clubs like ballet, and Lily's just started swimming, I'm the primary instigator and contact, and I go to that club with them normally. Lily's used to me taking her to ballet, me getting her ready for it and dropping her off. And Elliot could, it's just he's not as sociable, so he wouldn't enjoy it particularly. So I think, therefore, and even like Lola, I take her to baby bands, so she associates mummy taking her to fun places. Yeah. So I think it then becomes a thing of, well, mummy's normally there when I'm doing the fun thing, and therefore that's kind of becomes the fun.
And you're right,
it does.
It flips very quickly. For example, if it's been my turn on one of our Friday homeschool days, and I've taken Lily out, like when I took her ice skating, like then immediately after that, it's flipped immediately where she was suddenly quite clingy with me because she's like, oh, daddy's done a fun thing with me today.
They've done a fun thing.
Like, she was talking about it for days.
Oh, and she still talks about now going ice skating. Like, people forget what a big impact just going to stuff with them has. Yeah.
I also wonder if it to do with sort of our personalities as well, like going on from what you said, we are both playful and like often like dads do a lot of playful stuff with kids, and I do too, but you are particularly playful as a mum, like certainly in our context when we've engaged with other people, like when you're around in the school playground, like
it's true.
when you take Lola out to the clubs and stuff, like you're someone who gets very involved, gets involved with the games. Like you'll end up playing with everyone else's kids.
I do. This has become a thing at the school playground now. So when we first go in, if it's me and Lily and Lola normally, because Lola likes coming in the minute to drop her off, we've established a game where there's a little hut and I have to be the customer. And the children serve me disgusting food and I have to go, disgusting. And they charge me obscene prices like £100 for a pizza or something. And at first it was just me, Lily, and a couple of our friends playing. And now there's about 10 children who like to play this game. And I don't think they know my name. They just know I'm Lily's mum. And I turn up and I'm willing to sit and pretend to be discussing things. Which is good fun. But it does sometimes make me laugh because I think all the other parents must be like, what is she doing over there? Like, why are they all giggling? And they're all like, I think I get very involved.
Yeah. I wouldn't go so far as to say you're an extrovert, but like you're very much more ambivert, chatty.
And I'm quite
you're like, I'm very self-conscious in these settings and scenarios, whereas you are making a fool of yourself is not something you either.
I think that's
about.
my childhood though. And I don't know if it's the confidence of growing up as a multibirth, which might not make sense to other people, but I think because I always had a group of friends around me wherever I went, and we were quite a family that enjoyed making fun of ourselves. Like mum was always having fancy dress parties and we were like, I don't know if it's a farming thing where you just have a low threshold for like doing stuff, but I think because of the setting I grew up in, I've always been quite happy to
so like if we went to the park or something and it's busy, you would have no concerns about like running around like a monster and like entertaining the kids being stupid. Whereas
I always think when I'm pretending to eat disgusting food, like your parents must think she's crazy. But I'm like, well,
whereas I love doing that with our kids. Like I love playing and being silly and stupid with them. But like I do have to like get past the mental block of doing that in public.
Yeah, it's true. I don't notice you struggling with it in public. But I don't see the internal brain.
No. And I'm like, I'm very comfortable with children, so I'm very happy being silly with children. It's more like if there's other like dads about, and I'm like, now I'm like a bit self-conscious.
Like, what are they gonna think? Yeah, so I find it funny how I walk with some of the parents to school, and I think at first when I first started playing, they were like, oh. Like, as we're going, I'm like, I'll be a big monster and chase all the children as we're going. So I'm like, run, going behind them. But it's fun now that, like, they get more involved because I think I've given them permission to be crazy monsters that follow the children.
So from your perspective, any, like, particular positives or drawbacks of being the designated fun parent?
I think it's hard because I think often it's positive because I feel like I'm providing a lot of fun and they enjoy it. But I also feel the pressure that I almost like can't have an off day. So I almost think in my head I'm like the mental well-being of the family.
Yeah.
So like I feel like I have to make sure everybody's doing okay and getting people out of tantrums. So like if they're annoyed with you, I feel like it's my job to calm them down and my job to like lift their spirits and get us going. So it's hard sometimes to be like on all the time. To be like, I will make this fun and I will do my best to make sure everybody else has fun. Like Laura was laughing the other day. I was on the phone to her.
Your sister in
my sister
down south?
In Plymouth, yeah. And I think I was shouting back to you, remember to have a little walk outside today if it's sunny, just take care of your mental health. And Laura was like, I like that's what you shouting, because she's a mental health nurse, so she was like, that's good. And I was like, oh, I generally see it as my job to try and keep everybody happy. And that's quite hard.
But I mean, that is more of like a burden that's come on you, I suppose, more recently, like, because I've not been doing well with my mental health. Like,
yeah, it's not a constant one. And I wouldn't say in a mean way, you're not always my priority, because often the kids are.
Yeah.
But I often try and juggle everybody and be like, I hope everybody's having a happy time. I'm trying to make sure everyone's in a good mood. And like, that can be sometimes a burden, because if you're not feeling, especially like, this is a brave woman problem, but when I'm having a really bad period and I'm like, I'm in pain, I'm bloated, like I'm bleeding a lot, I'm not having the best day, I still feel like I have to be on top form for the kids.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have to be like, yeah, we can do whatever you want. And in my head, I'm like, no, I don't. I want to sit and just snuggle. But you don't want to do that today. And
Yeah.
I want to be your biggest cheerleader. So whatever you want to do, I'm going to do what you want to do.
I mean, I feel like that's just parenting all over, isn't it? It's just, there is no off days.
No.
Like, you're always a parent. And you get the double whammy of being the default parent and the fun parent, that they are then, like, super clingy with you all the time and want to do everything with you and, like, want you to take them places, want you to feed them, want you to cook.
Started singing a song about blood because I was on my period. So she was in the bath and it made me laugh. But then I was singing a song about my own blood and I was like, I don't really feel great. But Lily was going in the bath, go, blood, lots of blood. And I was like, yeah. And for some reason, because she's very interested in periods, she finds it quite exciting.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, blood.
Sounds a bit
blood.
like the Potter Puppet Pals song, like Snape, Severus.
That might be where she got the tune from, because I've shown her it before. It's very laugh when they're like, blood, lots of blood. And I was like, even when I'm bleeding, I'm trying to help her. When I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll sing a song about blood. Sure.
That's what I mean. You're like, in all circumstances, a very jolly person. Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with me, but yeah.
Well, it's probably a good trait to have.
It is. I do worry sometimes that people go, oh, she's annoyingly happy. Like, she's annoyingly always, like, kind of chipper.
Yeah.
You know, because when people don't feel good, it's kind of worse if someone's happy.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
like,
I have to live this one who's constantly happy. And she's always like, why are you so down and miserable? And I'm like, I'm not doing well. I'm allowed to not be doing well. And she's like, come on, cheer up, smile, be happy.
Yeah. I think I struggle because I just don't get down particularly easily. So it fits with my personality.
Did you always think you'd be the fun parent? Did you want to be the fun parent?
I didn't think I would be.
Oh.
I thought I would be the serious parent. But I think that's because growing up, my mum was the serious one and my dad was the fun one. So I think in my head, I just thought that would be my role. And because you're quite silly.
Yes, well, yeah, like when we were dating and stuff, I would be very silly.
I was like, oh, he'll be the fun one.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was kind of like, oh, I don't really want to be the serious one, but I think that's who I'll have to be because I think that's what will happen.
We did used to both be very silly.
Yeah. So I thought somebody's going to have to be practical.
Yeah, boy, has parenthood changed me. So should we talk briefly about next week? Because we're going into the Easter holidays and you're going away traveling solo with the kids.
Oh, yeah.
To France.
I don't know why I've decided to do it. Once again, it was because I was being the fun parent.
And I did warn you that it was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. But it does mean you will have to step up to be both fun parent and disciplinarian.
Yeah.
Any thoughts or worries or things about that?
I'm not too worried because I've had to do it before.
Yeah.
But my main thing is that I feel bad at this because you haven't mentioned this, but if you're a solo parent, you have to be this all the time.
Yeah,
you have to be everything to everyone.
Obviously, we can
really
only
hard.
talk from our experience, like you say, of being a normal, like, partnership parenting couple. But like, it must be hard if you're a single. Because
obviously,
parent.
you have to be the fun person and the serious person and everything in between. Where it's quite handy if you can split it sometimes. In my justification, it's a great chance to see their cousins, and Lily's so excited about going. She's been telling all of her friends she's going to France. And when we went for our first swimming lesson yesterday, she was like, we're going to see my cousins in France. So I think it'll be worthwhile and she'll enjoy it. And she loves seeing her cousins, but I might have a nervous breakdown. This is when you go, oh, you never see me unhappy. You might see me unhappy at the airport. With like, one of the kids has gone running off. I have got reins for Lola just to try and keep her with me, but yeah, we'll see. And then people will find out how well it's gone, because if we book a summer holiday, it means it's gone okay. And if it hasn't gone okay, we will be staying in England for the summer, because it's our trial run of seeing how things go. We haven't talked much about you being the strict parent.
Yeah, well, that's where we're going next.
Oh,
I thought we focused quite heavily on that. So if we switch.
Did you think you'd be the strict parent coming into parenting?
No, I suppose not, but I suppose I just assumed... I didn't imagine that we would particularly have those roles. I suppose I knew, like, particularly when kids get older, there tends to be a fun parent and a strict parent.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
I didn't imagine so much that it would emerge so quickly when kids are, like, babies and toddlers.
That's true.
Because you don't imagine that would, like, have as much influence yet, because the kids aren't able, they like when they can't communicate and they can't do stuff. But like, just I suppose our parenting styles, I tended, even when the kids were babies, to be more strict about routines and structures.
Yeah, I think that's true.
I'm like more of a perfectionist.
Yeah, and
I don't mean that in a way that like bigs myself up. Like,
oh no,
I remember I used to like I would manipulate it a bit on like CVs where I'd put like I have a great attention to detail, but in reality it's like quite a drawback of my personality that I'm like quite obsessive about things being perfect.
Being right, yeah. I mean, it does have its pluses, but yeah.
No, I suppose I assumed we would always be on the same page about everything all the time. And parenting has very much challenged that assumption.
Yes, that's true.
That, like, oh, yeah, we will have different opinions about, like, when we relax rules and when we don't relax rules.
And, like, how I think you sometimes see things as, I don't know, more serious than I do. So I'm often like at the minute, Lily doesn't want to wear pajamas for bed. And I'm like, cool, just put a pair of pants on. Getting too hot.
Whereas I'm like, no, this is the rule. We wear pajamas to bed. We will stand. It is a stalemate. We will sit here until... And I do this with Lola as well. Obviously, Lola can't, like, reason and fight back as much. But she's, like, has a little personality.
Oh, yeah.
Where she's, like, just throwing stuff and playing. And I'm like, Lola, you've got to put this on. We've got to go to bed.
Yeah. I mean, I do make sure Lola wears pajamas through.
Yeah.
But, so I think in that regard, I am more lax because I don't see it as a big issue.
We'll revisit this in a moment or two. We'll come back to it because I think I want to dig into it. But I think part of it is my parents were very strict when I was being raised. Yeah, we'll come back to that. But I mean, your parents were too.
They were, yeah.
So it's interesting, like, you've almost been like, my parents were strict, so I'm not going to be as strict. Whereas I was like, I've been like, well... But the thing is, even when I'm at my strictest, I'm still way less strict than my parents were.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyway.
Yeah, we'll get onto that.
Yeah, it is a bit frustrating because the kids go to you for everything. And, like, particularly at the moment, because we're in this phase where they want you to do everything.
Yeah.
And as we've said before, because we do try to split parenting, that doesn't mean that you do end up doing everything. It just means I end up having a harder time trying to
I think
like pull my weight.
Why you're stricter. I think you said that before, because you almost have to be, because I don't want to do stuff. Sometimes with me, and this is when it is annoying, Lily might purely do something fine with me because it's me. And I'm like, I haven't had to be strict because she just is like eager to please almost. Yeah,
she'll do what you say.
Yeah.
Whereas like she has a very what's the word?
Like confrontational.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
She's very confrontational with me at the moment, where like I just have to suggest something and she's like, well, you've suggested it now, so I'm not going to do that.
I'm definitely Daddy dared to suggest something, so I'm definitely not going to do it.
Yeah. But even Lola, like, again, like, this isn't just older kids. Like, Lola is a young toddler. She will come to you and like quite happily like put her arms out to get dressed. Whereas with me, she will like run away from me. Or like I'll put my arms out to take her and she'll like shake her head violently like, no, I do not want Daddy.
Yeah. And she understands enough now when I go, oh, Daddy's going to put you to bed. And she just goes, she shakes her head like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, he is. Mm-mm. And then she looks at me and gives me a smile like, please.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, it's not going to change what's going to happen. But yeah.
Yeah. And even when she was a baby, like before she could communicate that much, you would just see it in the behavior that like we've said, she would like cry more with me or like be more unsettled.
Or even like potty training.
Yes.
Like the days where she's with me, I'd say she's almost potty trained. Like she's quite good at telling me, and if I put her in the potty, she doesn't fight. She just sits and does a wee or cries. Whereas with you generally sometimes have to force her on because she doesn't want to and just...
Oh, yeah. She's not been doing well with me. We have accidents all the time. Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't understand... Which we did go through this with Lily, but at some points I'm like, but I don't understand how you can be so good.
Yeah.
You can do so well with Mummy, and then you're with Daddy and you're like, no, I'm just not going to do it. And I almost think it's a protest because she's like, well, I'm not with mummy, so I'm just not going to do anything that I meant to do. So I would say it's hard. I can't imagine there's many plus points to being the strict one. Does it mean you think they're better behaved? Well, they're not, though, are they? That's the problem.
No, again, like it's more of like a long-term goal of like, well, these are the rules in our house, and then of course, fun parent comes in, and it's like, well, we're not going to do those rules today.
I think it does help in the long run, though. So it's helped like the kids. I say that it helps the kids like sleep on their own and get in a cot and that kind of thing.
Yeah, but why have we managed that? Because strict parent has enforced those rules.
But I would say Lola has done better after I started putting her in the cot. But it was mummy's fault we took so long to get her in the cot.
Yes.
Because it was for an easy life. True.
Yes. So I'm very worried about when you come back from France after Easter. Because it will be strict parent that has to deal with everyone being out of a routine, out of a structure.
I think I'm more worried the clinginess will have got to capacity levels. Because I think bedtime wise, Lola will be very happy in France because I'll be putting her to bed every night. So I think she'll stay in her cot and stuff. That'll be fine. I think when we get back though, she'll be like, well, I've had you for 5 days. You just put me to bed. Why would we change up a good thing in her head?
It can be helpful having someone like sometimes Lily has been, less so these days as she's grown up, but certainly in peak toddler years when tantrums can be like really catastrophic. You have such a gentle parenting approach to it. True. And like, as you've already said, you're like trying to ease them out of it, calm them down, trying to be fun, and sometimes it just doesn't work.
Oh no, sometimes it doesn't.
It can be like 20 minutes later, half an hour later, and they're still screaming.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to step in here.
Well, I think, and
like I will grab Lily, take her away, like put her in timeout, and she will hate it and like resent me for it. But she'll, within 5 minutes, she'll have calmed down because she'll have got it all out on me, and then often all it requires is her to like put all her anger against me and then give her back to you.
Yes, yeah.
And she'll be like calm instantly.
Yeah, true. And I think sometimes I almost run out of resources where I'm like, we've been here for 40 minutes and I'm trying to be kind. Like I'm trying to do it the way they tell you to do it. Like I'm really trying to do there's fine to have emotions and we all feel like that sometimes. And you get to a point where you're like, it's not working. It's not working. It's like she's still in this mood. She's still furious. Like I've really tried. And I remember I keep saying to her, like, I'm trying to be so nice. I'm trying to do this the right way and I don't know what else to do. So I think sometimes you need someone to take over and go like, that's not working. You're going to be here all day with them.
And I think in that circumstance, it's when it can be helpful.
Yeah.
And it must be difficult if you are a solo parent or just, maybe you're away with the kids by yourself or whatever context.
Yeah, true.
But this is the long-term thing I talk about. Like with Lola at the age she is, being a bit younger, like you can't reason with her. And
Lola gets very annoyed at the minute because she's on reins, but she won't hold my hand all the time. And she'll run off. But she gets very annoyed when she's walking near the road because I'm like pulling her in. And I know it's not the same as necessarily being strict, but I can see in her eyes, she's looking at me like, why are you doing that? Why are you being so mean? And I'm like, well, it's not safe. Like something's not safe. We can't let you just kill yourself.
Yeah. Like, and it's about like introducing good habits.
Yeah.
So even if it doesn't work in that context, because you're right, like safety is a non-negotiable, but there's lots of things that are not non-negotiables.
Yeah, it's true.
But like the way I see it is I want to get into good habits early.
Yeah, true.
And like I start that very early with babies and toddlers, because it does help then for them to know where the line is and what the rules are.
And I think kids
so like often you'll be like
boundaries often. They like to know at what point they can and can't do things, and like they like to test those boundaries, but it's good for them to have them. Like it's actually healthy to say this is a boundary.
And it might just be our kids particularly that I think do it's not that they thrive with boundaries, like they are very structured based, but it's more that like they struggle a lot when there aren't boundaries. And so I often complain because you're like now and again want to give a treat or like give an exception to the rule, like
I'm
okay,
like, it's a special
tonight
occasion.
It's a weekend or a special occasion, you can stay up late or you can have an ice cream or like you can sleep in mummy's bed tonight or like as a one-off. And I'm always like, that's nice, I know you're the fun parent, but I know if you've opened the floodgate, you've opened the door to this scenario.
And I think
they come back the next night and they're like,
I want to do that again.
I want to do that again.
Yeah.
Why can't I stay up late tonight?
I also keep forgetting they're not at an age yet where they can understand exceptions that much.
Yeah. And with Lola, you know, you do something once. And then,
Lola's like, yeah.
And Lily was the same when she was young.
Yeah.
You only have to introduce something once or twice, and like their routine, they can adapt to that so quickly.
Yeah.
This is what I worry about France, is because they only need a few days on a different cycle, a different structure,
true.
And then it's so hard to get them back into their normal routine.
Well, I think this is why this is a separate thing, but I think that's why school holidays are hard.
Oh yeah,
because as much as like Lily this last week has been like, I don't want to go to school, I'm like, having a thing to go every day to where you kind of know what's going to happen is quite good for her.
But that's why nursery like is so much better, because it's less intensive.
Yeah.
But it is I mean, for us, because we do year round, not term time, it is the same year round, week after week.
Yeah.
She knows the pattern. Like from being a young baby, both our kids went to nursery from quite a young age. But they, even before they can communicate, they often know the days of the week based on their routine. Like they know this is a day I go to this place.
And even like, because they know what happens on certain days. So like Lola knows we drop off Lily at ballet and she knows Grandad's normally there that day.
Yeah.
So in her head, when Grandad's not there, when we get to the library, she starts shouting Grandad because she's like, he's normally here.
Yeah. And it then upsets them when their routine is broken. Yeah. Whereas like school is like such an intensive time.
Yeah.
And then whole periods of
being
nothing.
Off. Yeah.
Which is just the worst kind of
worst
cycle.
System,
yeah. Anyway.
I was going to say though, I think it's worked. Like you being strict has made them nice children.
Oh, like, yes, I suppose that is when as the strict parent, I would say, and maybe that this is just because like I have been struggling with my mental health recently. I don't see the reward of it. Like I do often think like, what are we doing? I'm putting in all this effort. The kids don't like me. I'm being strict. They still don't seem to be following the rules. They still don't seem to like, they will play us off against each other.
Yeah.
Like they will go to you.
They will come and cry.
Lily will come and say to you, can we go in the pushchair to school? Yeah. And then you'll turn to me and I go, no, you're not, you're walking because you're a 5-year-old.
But she has been so much better at walking recently.
Or like if they want a certain snack, like just before dinner, and they come to you and they're like, can we have a snack?
True.
And mummy goes, shall we ask daddy? And daddy goes, no, because we're about to have dinner and we've done this 100 times before and then neither of you eat your dinner. I would say I do feel like you often sidestep the problem by saying, let's ask daddy. And then I have to be the one that goes, no.
That's true.
When you could have just said no from the beginning.
Well, I often do say no, but she wants the clarification that everybody said no. Like, you know what I mean? She's like, I want everyone to have, I want to have tried all options of no. Because I often hear her ask you, and you say no, and then she comes straight to me. Yeah. And I often go, well, what did daddy say? And she goes, no. And I'm like, well, then that's your answer, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the way she says it.
Going back to your point, it is true. When this all pays off is when we like, I don't know, meet people and they comment on like what good children we have, how nice they are.
Well, it's like I always think we've never, touch wood, had a tantrum leaving the park ever.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I don't know if that's because just the way the kids are, or because I think they know boundary-wise, they're like, well, we're leaving.
Yeah.
We're not going to hang around. Like, we're just going to go.
And not to show off, like, you know, we have our fair share of tantrums.
Oh, yeah, just not around. Like...
Just, you know, over all sorts of things. It's part of it is a natural development of, you know, young kids' emotions. But, yeah, it's true. Like, when you're deep in the sort of day-to-day of parenting, the relentless struggle, it's hard sometimes to see the big picture. And you do sometimes get those sort of moments where you can almost view your family from outside.
Yes,
and you go, oh... It is hard, but we're doing a good job here. We're raising
it's actually looking like
nice children.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Like you know, like when you get to an age where you can like drop your kid off for like a play date, or like they go and stay over with family or someone else, or you know, and then they come back and you say, "Oh, was it all right? Was it okay?" And they're like, they were perfectly behaved. They were really polite and like had great manners. They were kind, and you're like, oh, it's just so wonderful.
Yeah. Mummy went to parents' evening recently because poor Daddy was looking after Lolo. It was nice with her teacher that we were sat there and Lily was looking like an embarrassed little thing because the teacher was saying how wonderful she is at everything. And then the teacher was like, oh, but the most important thing is she's a real asset in class. And I was like, oh, okay. And she went, any child that's upset, she will sit with them, she'll comfort them. She was like, she will like see somebody needs help and she will go and help them. Or if somebody doesn't understand, she'll try and help them understand. Like she was saying how kind she was. And I was saying that's so good because you don't always get to see your child behaving that way. Because we don't often go into situations where she's around other children that she needs to help or...
It's particularly nice because if you've listened to, like, chronologically the last episode that came out, we chatted a bit about values we're hoping to instill in our kids. And one of your core values was about kindness and empathy.
So then when we had parents evening, like the week after, I was like, that is great.
Yeah,
because
to come back and be like, one of her main attributes is that
it's something we've tried really hard to instill in her.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Yeah. I do think being the the parent that's focused on the structure and discipline, and this isn't like.
Oh, I've got another point.
Okay, well.
But try to say it for
One second. What was I saying? Because then we'll go off on a tangent.
Focused on more structure-y thingies.
Yeah, like it might be like almost self-imposed, and this might be more of an anxiety sort of induced part of my personality. I do get very caught up in the organizational. I know you do a lot of the organization, but like the organizational part of life as a parent, where I'm constantly worrying about like the rules and the structure and so like it gives me anxiety attacks thinking about your time in France because you've described some of the things you're going to do which are just so totally out of our normal routine and structure. I'm not even going to be there.
No, he's not going to be there.
And like it gives me anxiety thinking about how I would cope with taking the kids on trips and how to keep everything manageable. Like that's always the top of my mind is like when we're invited to a party or something, you're always like, this is gonna be great fun. I'm always sat thinking about what about the naps, what about afternoon, that's not going to be a great time for them. We're going to have to come home early. I hope they get enough food when they're there. Like it's those practicalities that I'm quite strict about, which you're quite happy sometimes to be a bit more spontaneous and flexible.
What I was gonna say.
Yeah, what was your point?
I think at one point where our roles reverse is like education.
Right.
So with like Lily, I'm like, we are reading the book you've been sent home from school. So when it's mummy's night to do bedtime, we will have to read that book.
Yes.
And I am open to her saying to me, oh, I don't want to read that book. I'm like, we don't have to read that book, but we're reading our book. We are reading a book every night before bed. We don't do that on Daddy's night.
No, I'm not strict about that.
I think we just have different things. But I do think like it's helped her reading. She's now like one of the best readers for her age group in the class. I do find it interesting. For some reason, that's something I'm like, well, I will take on reading as like my problem, my thing I have to be strict about.
That's true. Yeah. And I think in that sense, like we said, these are like roles that have almost been assigned to us by our kids.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they're a core part of who we are, like that we always feel like we have to be these people. Because right, there are circumstances when something matters more to us. Yeah. Like we become then the other one.
Yeah, and I don't know why it is. I think partly because I think reading's so good for children.
And as you pointed out at the very beginning of this episode, I am often the typical dad that's doing like slightly dangerous things with them, and you're the one sat there going like, that's dangerous, don't do that.
Yeah, and like I think stuff with that, and like when she had her ballet recital, I was like, we need to practice. Like you need to put your full effort
Whereas I was
into
like, this is stupid.
Yeah,
like
see what I mean?
She's 4 and she's doing like a ballet recital where part of it is she just has to pretend to be a cat. Like, we do not need to practice this. I don't care what grade she gets. That's not what's important. It's important she has fun.
Yes, I know. And this is why I'm like...
And you were very strict about it. You were like, every day, we will practice. We're going through the whole routine.
This is why me and Elliot knew the routine by the end. I still think I know the routine. And I think I don't mind as an ethos, but I always have this is probably because I wasn't naturally, I think I'm smart, but I wasn't naturally as smart at school. So I had to try really, really hard with everything.
Mm.
And I think in my head, I'm always like, if we're going to do something, we're going to try our best. Like, we're going to put every effort into it. So, like, school, I'm like, we're going to try our best at school. We don't care if we don't get it, but we're going to try hard.
Right.
Ballet, we're going to do ballet. I want you to have fun. But if you've committed to doing this, we need to try. So I'm saying there are points where I think I become the strict parent and you then become the fun one. Because, like, for instance, it was actually very good, your idea.
Oh, what was my good idea?
When Lily was getting annoyed by practicing ballet, and you were like, hey, why don't I practice with you? And when I get it wrong, you can squirt me with a water pistol. Like, that was a very fun parenting move that got her to practice, but she really enjoyed squirting you with that water pistol.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that there's points it turns.
Yeah.
And the other person becomes
again, like, I would say it is easier to, like, insert yourself into that, like, gentle parenting, fun parent mode when you are feeling good yourself.
True,
Like, again, it's been hard for me because I feel like I've just constantly been on, like, the threshold of being overwhelmed constantly. True. And anything can throw you over the edge. And therefore, it's really hard to get into that place of, like, we're going to try and de-escalate this.
Yes,
rather than
fun.
Suddenly, like, it explode.
Yeah.
I feel like this plays into what we said we'd come back to, which is talking about our upbringings. Okay, so you've already said your parents had a more typical... You had one fun parent and one more serious parent?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And you were saying about how, like, doing your best, and that because that was instilled in you growing up?
I wouldn't say it was especially. I don't think my parents really cared what grades I got. They did want us to try hard. Yeah. But they didn't, like, go, you have to get this grade or you have to be wonderful. It was just... I think, I don't know why, me and my sisters were very, well, other than Laura, if you hear this, you know you weren't self-motivated. That was the only one. She was the only sister my mum had to force to work. Yeah. So when Laura complains about her son Adam not trying hard, you can't say anything, Laura.
Okay, but this is really interesting because this plays into why I think you're doing it wrong. Because you've just highlighted the fact that your parents were very relaxed about it.
They were very
and it was your self-motivation that enabled you to do your best.
Yes.
Whereas my parents were the opposite. I had a lot of external pressure.
Yes.
I think often the easiest way to describe it is, like, my parents were very much like typical Asian families you see in, like, stereotypical films and TV, where, like, 100%. I had a huge amount of, like, academic pressure on me to perform and do everything well. That meant I had no self-motivation. All of my motivation was an external thing. Yeah. And so, like, I now have, like, a kind of crippling sense of perfectionism, but very little self-motivation.
Yes, true. True.
And so when I'm raising our kids, like, I'm trying to do the opposite of my upbringing and you're trying to do the opposite of your upbringing.
Yes, true.
And so we're now in the reverse roles.
But you're right in that, like, my mum did, I think they just did it in a good way. So, like, we were read to every night. I don't remember learning to read, but it must have been young, because I remember mum felt good that it was one of the only things, if people don't know, we were quadrupeds, and because we were premature, we were behind at everything. Yeah. But the one good thing we could do was we were very good at reading, because mum did read to us every night. So I think that's probably why that's instilled in the reading.
I would say, like, genetically, you do seem all very disposed to excel at languages.
That is true. It could just be a thing. Yeah. I think that is true. That's probably where I got that from. But you're right in that I had very little pressure to ever do anything. So, like, we did do ballet, but that was for fun. And I do remember practicing for tests, but I mean, like, there was never like a lot of people have said to me, what did Lily get in ballet? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, we're not that
because we're not like I said, I want her to do her best, but I don't mind if she's not the best.
I don't want there to be pressure on Lily so that she can find her joy and then have self-motivation to do well. Some of this stuff is not going to, like, flourish through being strict about it.
Yeah, true.
Like, it will be, as we discussed last week, it's like, it's value-based, and you just hope that through the values you're instilling, some of this stuff will emerge.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't want to have to chase them to do their homework.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard because both of us don't really agree with homework.
Yeah.
So we'll have to, because I know like they would get in trouble, but I would be like, not the worst thing in the world, but yeah.
Again, as we were discussing like a few days ago or so, like when I was growing up, I did do a lot of clubs and stuff. Like I played 3 musical instruments and had lessons for that every week. I went to orchestra. I swam competitively and had training sessions 5 times a week. I did band after school. Did like an extra GCSE, which meant I had to do like one of them after school. And then like at one point I did drama and then dropped that, and then goodness me, there's a lot of stuff.
Whereas like I did an extra GCSE, but that was entirely because I wanted to. Because I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I was like, if I can get another GCSE, I might as well get it. I was going to say another thing Lola does, which is she just plays mummy for a fool sometimes. So like when we were yesterday, Elliot was looking after her. I don't know what I was doing briefly, and you were looking after it, and I was like, "Oh, give her a snack," and you were like, "Okay," and then it, like because I was there, Lola like sat on your knee, and you like, "What are you doing?" And then I was like, "Oh, you get it out the packet for her. She struggles to get it out the pack," and you're like, "No, she doesn't."
Oh yes,
no,
yes. Because I was saying like, "Well, I just give her the packet, open it up, and she sits on the floor and eats it herself," and you were like, "Oh." Because for you, she has to sit on your knee. You have to hand her a snack one by one.
When she's with me, she acts a fool. Like, if I give her the pack, she acts like she can't get a hand in it. She's struggling away. Like, I was like, I have to, like, hand her each snack.
Yeah.
So,
I suppose I'm not seeing a lot of it right now, but this is one of the perks of being the slightly stricter parent in that, I've encouraged and taught a lot of like independent play. I mean, it's also a side product of not being the default parent and of being dad and all that stuff as well, that quite often I can sit there and the kids will play happily by themselves. Whereas we've talked about this before, but with you, if you're in the room or anywhere in the vicinity, you have to be actively involved.
Lola's definitely better than Lily was. Lola will sit and play, but sometimes she just wants a ridiculous amount of involvement.
Well then, that's been a parenting struggle that we're dealing with lately.
Interesting question.
An interesting question.
Do you think this will change as they get into like their teen years and stuff?
Oh yeah. We've discussed this before about clinginess and about default parent and all that sort of stuff.
I know we've got a while to go.
Yeah.
Because we've never had preference change really.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows?
Just find it interesting.
I suppose my hope is that as they grow older, you won't need to be as strict about some of these like little things.
Oh yeah, true.
But it'll be like bigger conversations about lifestyle choices and stuff that like I don't know. Like, and again, it's like where do you draw the line? What is a non-negotiable?
Yeah,
like,
true.
And I suppose that's the question you're constantly probably going to have with young teens. Is this a safety issue?
Yeah.
Is this just a way you're expressing yourself?
I'm quite overprotective, and this is my own fault because I listen to a lot of true crime.
Yeah.
So I think I'm very much in the mindset like you will have an app on your phone at all times to tell me where you are.
Yeah.
And I can see as a teenager being like, why would you do that, Mum? And I'll be like, well, I've watched far too many shows where people get killed, and like I wouldn't be willing to like.
Sure, and I'm very happy to like back you up with that because again it's different because we've got girls and you do feel a bit overprotective.
Yeah. I think it's going to be interesting at that point to see what transpires. Yeah.
I mean, but equally, I had very overprotective parents where I couldn't do anything. So again, in my sense of like,
they were quite. Like, I remember but it's different because there was 4 of us. So they were like, all 4 of you can go get the bus into town together. But I think, yeah. So,
like, again, I'm very keen to give them the freedom and space to, go and do stuff by themselves. But yeah, we'll have to navigate that challenge when we get to it. But
you can see, if we still have this podcast by then, and they're young teenagers, you can hear how I'm
It's the ongoing struggle.
Yeah.
We can only talk about what we know at the moment.
Yeah.
And there we go. So thank you for joining us on our picnic blanket out in the sunshine, the spring
love a bit of sunshine.
Easter fairy garden.
Lovely.
Do let us know what you've thought of the things we've said.
It's one of you the meanie and one of you the fun one.
Yeah. I suppose we can't rule out that even in, like, as you say, like a heteronormative relationship with a mum and a dad, that you still don't end up with one parent that does all the roles and one that just does nothing.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
that's still a possibility.
From a lot of women we know, that still is what happens.
yeah. But anyway, we'd love to know. Get in touch with us through all the usual means on social media, all the stuff, links on our website. Join us in our little WhatsApp group if you want to chat about it directly with us and with the other listeners to the podcast. All the stuff you can find in the links down below. www.karosmovement.org.uk/Don't Wake the Baby.
I was waiting for the /.
Yeah.
I don't know why I always find that amusing.
And we're at Don't Wake the Baby _podcast on social media.
The millennial ones people use.
Time to sign off. Come back next time.
Don't wake the baby.
God bless. Sleep well.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Au revoir. Come on, let's go through all the languages.
Adios. Ciao.